Growing up, my twin brother Mikhail and I were raised by our single dad. And boy, were we living the high life. We lived in a mansion straight out of a fairy tale with every luxury imaginable. We always had the coolest toys, the best clothes, super fancy meals, and the most awesome birthday parties ever. And you know what made it all possible? My dad's super cool job at Lewis Industries. He had a high position there and worked his butt off to give us the best life ever. Everything was perfect until one day in high school, Dad hit us with some shocking news. We were completely broke. Turns out Dad's boss, Mr. Lewis, fired him unjustly and even seized whatever Dad owned. Dad, we'll get through this, right?
I don't know, honey. I don't know. That man destroyed me. He took every last cent I had. Mr. Lewis is a fraud, and he blamed me and fired me. This is so unfair, and I'm so sorry I can't give you the life you deserve anymore.
Seeing Dad's tears made my heart shatter, and then suddenly, I felt rage surge through my veins. I wanted revenge. I vowed to make Mr. Lewis pay for causing us so much pain, and also take back what he stole from us. That night, we moved into a small apartment, and things were never the same again. Hey guys, I'm Armani. Before I continue with my crazy story, please like and subscribe to MSA. The next day, news of Dad's misfortune spread far and wide, and everyone now looked at us with pity. Aren't you that millionaire's daughter? Oh, poor you, going through so much. Here, the bread and eggs are on us. You don't need to pay, sweetheart. I totally hated how everyone was pitying us, and Mikhail felt the same way. He was determined to start some business to help Dad with the bills. Then, something mind-blowing happened. He got offered a scholarship to the swankiest school ever, where he'd applied before Dad got fired. But now, Mikhail was unsure about it. You're not sure? Mikhail, studying at this school could open up doors for you in the future, for all of us.
Yeah, but Dad needs me right now. We have our business planned out, and I'm just taking a year off from studies. Besides, I found out that Mr. Lewis's son, Peter, is also in that school. I don't want to be there.
Seriously? The son of that cheater who drained us dry? This could actually be the perfect opportunity to get revenge.
Come on, Armani. Revenge is never the solution. Karma will handle Mr. Lewis. We need to focus on getting our life back on track.
Was he serious? There was no way I was gonna pass up this chance to make Mr. Lewis pay. I came up with an idea. Join the school in Mikhail's place. At first, he was totally against it, but I lied about how much I wanted to study in a great school, and this was the only opportunity I'd have since Dad had no money.
Aren't you forgetting one tiny detail? It's an all-boys school.
No sweat, Mikhail. I'll just pretend to be a dude. Teach me the way of the bros, please. And then, mission dudification began. First up, Mikhail taught me bro vocabulary.
Every sentence should have dude or bro or man.
Then he taught me the bro walk, which was kind of funny to be honest. Then came the fist bumps, and at last, the dude dress code. After a week of training and a wig, I transformed into Mikhail from Armani, and I was so ready for this school and meeting this Peter. On my first day of school, I thought it would be a piece of cake. I mean, all I would have to do was walk and talk like a boy. But soon, my throat was hurting from making my voice deep, and my waist was hurting from sucking in my breath and doing that stupid dude walk. And then I had to pee. I rushed to the restroom, but to my horror, it was a dirty urinal toilet staring back at me. Yuck! Boys are gross! I was searching the school for a better bathroom when suddenly I heard some yelling. I followed the voices to see what was happening, and I spotted a guy on the bleachers getting picked on by some meanies.
Hey man, I don't want any trouble. Look, I've got a Snickers bar. How about we all share it and share our feelings? We could start with you, Josh. You can talk about your anger issues. This is a safe space.
Are you for real, you dumb loser?
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
You want to test that theory? You're a good-for-nothing idiot with a bad haircut, and the only girl who will ever love you is your granny.
Oh God, ouch. That hurts so bad. You might as well just have punched me in the stomach.
I can do that. Stop that, dude. Leave him alone, man. Or else what, newbie? I'm gonna show the principal this video of you bullying a student. Yep, I got it all here, bro. Josh glared at me, then pushed Peter away and gestured to the other guys, and they all left.
Thank you for standing up to Josh, but I had it under control.
Yeah, I could see that.
Man, I'm Peter. Peter Lewis. What's your name?
Wait, as in Mr. Lewis's son, Peter Lewis? Our Mikhail, bro.
Our Mikhail, bro. What an interesting name.
No, just Mikhail. I gotta go pee. I have to find a clean bathroom.
Say no more and follow me.
Peter led me to the teacher's bathroom, which was as clean as a whistle. Throughout the day, Peter and I ended up hanging out together, and as we got talking during recess, I realized Peter was a sweet and simple guy. The day seemed to be going well, until we had swimming class.
All right, boys, time to change into your swim trunks so we can dive right in.
What the fudge? I had to come up with a good excuse to skip the lesson, and my mind was racing as the teacher caught sight of me.
Hey, you, yes, you, come on, get changed.
I'm allergic to water. I was diagnosed with aquagenic urticaria. Yeah, it's been pretty hard for me. Fortunately, everyone bought the lie. Well, everyone except Josh, who sneaked up behind me after swim class.
Aquagenic urticaria? Really? I'll do my research and we'll know if you're really allergic to water, or you're just a weirdo who likes to be the center of attention everywhere. You've got the rest of your life to be as dull as you wish. Why not take today off and do something better with your life?
Everyone roared with laughter as Josh fumed and stormed off angrily.
Hey, would you like to hang out over the weekend at my place? My dad's away on a business trip and I have no close friends.
Well, now you have me, bro. Peter shared his number and address with me. This was perfect. I knew from Dad that Mr. Lewis had a home office, and if I could sneak in, maybe I could find some evidence and prove Mr. Lewis was the fraud Dad said he was. The next morning, I showed up at Peter's mansion and was blown away. It was ginormous. It even had 2 Olympic-sized pools and 7 freaking jacuzzis. Peter gave me a tour of his massive house, showed me every single room except 2.
Why aren't we going into those 2 rooms? One's Dad's office and the other, it's just private. Come on, let me show you the kitchen.
Of course, his uneasiness only made me more intrigued. Later, as we were having snacks, I excused myself to the bathroom and snuck into one of the 2 rooms, hoping it was the office. But just as I entered and turned on the lights, someone grabbed my shoulder.
Mikhail, the bathroom's the other way. Why are you here?
I just got lost. I was terrible at lying, but Peter believed me instantly.
Oh, no problem. Well, since you're here already, I want to show you something that I've never shown anyone. Also, because I've never had a friend over before.
He then pulled out a mysterious box from under the dusty bed.
Things haven't been the same since Mom left us. She was my favorite person and my best friend. Dad thought putting all our stuff in this room would make us forget, but it's the opposite. It's been really tough, Mikhail.
Seeing Peter vulnerable made my heart go out to him. Now you have me. I'll always be here for you.
Thanks, bro.
When I got home, I kept thinking about my revenge plan. No matter what, I didn't want to hurt Peter. He was really growing on me, but I had to stand up for my dad too. It wasn't Peter's fault his dad was a jerk, and I hoped once he learned about his dad's dirty deeds, he'd hate him too. In the following days, Peter and I really bonded, and I couldn't help but notice how naive he was.
OMG, Bella Porch messaged me. Dude, she's asking me to send her $5,000 because she's stranded on some island. We have to help her. She's my favorite TikTok star.
What? I mean, bro, seriously? Look closely. It's a fake account.
Man, oh, you're right. I'm such a dummy. For a second, I was on cloud 9 that Bella messaged me. You know, I adore her. She's so cute and...
As Peter went on and on about Bella Porch, I found myself feeling weirdly jealous. It was then I realized I kinda had a crush on Peter. One time, as Peter was on the ground playing football, I couldn't help thinking that he looked kinda, well, hot. Suddenly, an annoying voice interrupted me.
Why are you looking at him like you're in love with him? Haven't you learned to mind your own business? Oh, Mikhail, I did some digging, and boy was I shocked. It all adds up now.
And then he showed me some pictures of me. That's my sister Armani, you dumbhead. We're twins. See this picture? Now get a life, bro, and delete my sister's pictures from your phone before I break your face. Phew, that was close. But then during recess, Josh joined us and placed a whole box of Snickers in front of Peter.
Hey bro, I wanted to talk to you. I've been in therapy and I've realized you were right. I needed to deal with my anger issues, and I really need to apologize for the way I've behaved with you. I'm trying to change, and I'm really sorry.
Yeah, right, but Peter totally fell for it.
Aw, thanks, Josh. That means a lot, and I only wish you well. Forgiven and forgotten. Oh, by the way, I'm throwing a party this weekend to showcase some of my new artwork. You guys should come.
A party was the perfect opportunity to break into Mr. Lewis's office because Peter would be busy. I just had to keep an eye out for this Josh. And once I had the evidence, I'd come out with the whole truth to Peter. So, when nobody was watching at the party, I sneaked into the office, desperate to find something incriminating. But moments later, the door swung open and Peter entered.
Got lost again?
Yeah, your place is like a maze, man.
I know, right? Come on, let me show you out.
Just as I was walking out with Peter, someone from behind grabbed my wig and pulled it hard. I turned around to see it was Josh, and my long hair had come undone.
See? I told you so. Now do I get the $1,000?
What?
Yeah, I told him you're a girl, and I did some more digging on you. You and your brother are the kids of that millionaire who's poor now, the one who used to work for Peter's dad. I didn't believe Josh, but it looks like I'm always an idiot. Serves me right for trusting anyone, and I don't know why you deceived me, and I don't even want to find out. Maybe you also came to do what your dad did.
Peter, you don't know everything. Let me explain.
All I know is that you pretended to be my friend, and you lied to me. Please, just leave.
Peter.
Guards, escort her out of here.
With my head hung low, I made my way back home. And the next morning, I was horrified to find my face all over social media. Apparently, Josh had uploaded a clip from the party, and everyone had something negative to say about me. When Mikhail learned what I'd done, he was also unhappy. He had told me not to seek revenge, but I'd ignored his advice. Naturally, through all of this, I guess Mikhail, was also kicked out of school. I just shut myself up in my room, and Dad came to talk to me one night. I just broke down and ended up telling him about my crazy plan and how far I'd gone.
Oh, honey, I feel so terrible about this, and I should have told you sooner. The thing is, I made an awful mistake at Mr. Lewis's company. I allowed my greed to get the better of me, so I stole some money. I know it was wrong, and I'm really ashamed of myself. I got caught, and naturally Mr. Lewis fired me. I lied about him. He isn't a fraud. He's actually a kind man who could have sent me to jail, but he spared me, and he didn't take my money from me. I just never saved anything. I didn't have the courage to tell you kids the truth, and I'm so sorry.
Seriously, Dad? Like, how could you? OMG, you're the one who's a fraud. I can't do this right now. Mikhail was equally stunned to learn the truth about Dad. We both stopped talking to him for weeks, but one day, as Mikhail and I were watching MSA, Dad came to us in tears.
I know I'm asking a lot here, but I can't bear the silent treatment. You're both my world, and I'll do whatever it takes to make it up to you. I'm really sorry for what I brought on this family.
Dad, you realized your mistake. That's what matters the most. We'll get through this together, all three of us. After finally knowing the truth, I felt even worse for deceiving Peter. I tried calling him to apologize, but he never picked up, so I wrote everything out in a letter to mail it to him. Hey Peter, I'm writing this letter to say sorry for all the messed up things I did. I can't begin to explain how much it sucks to realize that I hurt you. I thought my family was miserable because of your dad, and I was blinded by my anger and need for revenge. But I was wrong about everything, and I ended up losing a friend. Take care of yourself, Peter. You deserve happiness and good things in life. I'll always carry the regret of what I've done, and I hope that someday, somehow, you'll forgive me. I'm really sorry. Armani. A few weeks later, Mikhail dropped the best news ever. He and Dad were finally ready to start the business in a new town. I was excited about the fresh start, but I couldn't ignore the sadness I felt at the idea of being so far from Peter. A night before our flight, I was up in my room when I heard voices downstairs, and I rushed down to see Peter in our living room.
Wow, you both are really twins. Anyway, Armani, I'm still mad at you, but that letter you sent really made me think. Admitting your mistakes takes a lot of courage, and you showed that you have it, and I want to move past this. I know you're leaving tomorrow, but that doesn't mean we can't still be friends.
I don't deserve a friend like you, Peter, and I'm sorry for hurting you. Can you really forgive me?
Maybe, if you take me out for some ice cream.
I'd love that. Let's go. Hi, I'm Ashlyn from Argentina, and before I continue, please like and subscribe. My brother Carter is my twin. We don't look anything alike, but we've always been competitive. On the day we were born, we even fought to be the one to come out first. My dad was a professional soccer player, and my mom was a really successful business executive. They were both super competitive and encouraged us to be the same. Everything was a competition. My brother and I competed to see who could crawl the fastest, who could walk first, hold their breath the longest, and draw the best picture. The winner always got a reward. At the time, it was friendly and fun. We just loved to try and outdo each other. Sometimes, the boy next door, Nico, would come over and be the judge. He had a cool camera and loved to take photos, mostly of me making weird faces. Carter thought he could make even weirder faces. So, of course, it became a competition. And Carter wins again! What? Come on, Nico, why are you always siding with Carter? That wasn't even close, and you know it! You heard what Nico said. I won. We always play fair, sis. Whatever. Carter and Nico became best friends and loved teaming up against me, which was so annoying. Still, I loved my brother. He meant the world to me, so I was always a gracious loser. But Carter, not so much. You cheated. I did not. I beat you fair and square. It only got worse as we got older. My parents pushed us to compete with each other even more.
Winning is everything. If I don't win, my team loses. And if I don't win, my company will fail and I'll be out of a job.
But does that mean that everything has to be a competition?
Of course it does, dummy.
I just wanted to have a normal relationship with my brother, where we didn't always have to prove that we were better than each other. But whatever I did, he had to do it better. I even let him win just so he wouldn't hate me. Not again! I guess you're just better than me. What can I say? Then one day, he crossed the line, and everything changed. When we were in the 10th grade, I was getting straight A's, I was captain of the girls' soccer team, and got the lead in the school play. Carter got B's, didn't even make the boys' soccer team, and only got a tiny part in the play with no lines. He hated that I was doing better than him. He stopped speaking to me in school unless it was to say something mean in front of his friends. Hi, Carter. You want to eat lunch together?
Wow, you guys smell something? Someone really needs to take a bath.
I could tell that Nico didn't like it, but he never stood up for me. When I announced that I was running for class president, Carter ran against me.
Vote for me if you want longer lunch periods. Vote for Ashlyn if you want twice the homework.
And then he humiliated me in front of the entire school.
You can't be class president if you have secrets, and my sister has a huge one.
What are you talking about, Carter? I don't have any secrets.
That's not what your diary says.
My body froze like an icicle. I did have one big secret, and in that diary, I must have drawn Nico's name 10,000 times in every color, shape, and size. Carter opened one of the pages and held it up so everyone could see. The entire school burst out laughing, and I just exploded. I attacked Carter with all the strength that I had, and it took 5 teachers to pull me off. We were both disqualified from running for president and suspended for a week. I was removed as captain of the soccer team, and they gave the lead in the school play to another girl. I was devastated. I couldn't get over how my own brother could betray me. And now so much of my hard work had gone down the drain. Even my parents were furious with us, but I knew that Carter was secretly happy. In his mind, we were equals again. My life was ruined, and my grades declined. It just wasn't fair. Then one day, I was crying by my locker when I felt a hand on my shoulder.
You okay?
I turned around to see Nico. My heart started pounding in my chest. I was so embarrassed I tried to run away, but I tripped over my shoelace and fell. But Nico caught me. For a moment, I just lay there in his arms, staring into his big blue eyes.
Ashlyn, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Listen, don't be embarrassed about the diary. Carter was a jerk for doing that, but the truth is, I only started coming over to your house in the first place because I had a crush on you.
Really?
Yeah, and when I would go home, I'd print out the photos I took of you and just stare at them. Kinda creepy, right?
About as creepy as having your name written all over my diary. Over the next few weeks, Nico and I spent a lot of time together. And at first, Carter tried to ignore it, but I could tell that it was driving him crazy. I was happy again. My grades went back up, and the girl who took my role in the school play got sick, so I got it back. I even scored the winning goal in our soccer championship game and was awarded Most Valuable Player. Carter finally couldn't take it and confronted Nico and me in the hallway.
Nico, you can either be my best friend or hang out with my loser sister, but you can't have it both ways. What's it gonna be?
Everyone stopped to watch. I was too terrified to speak. I just stared at Nico, who looked like a little boy lost in the woods. But then, he made his decision and walked over to Carter. I rushed up to Nico and grabbed his hand. Nico, this is stupid. There's no reason you have to choose.
But he does, and he did. Sorry, sis.
Nico shoved me away, and my heart shattered into a million little pieces. What a jerk! That night, I burst into Carter's room and confronted him. What is wrong with you, Carter? Why do you always treat me like I'm your worst enemy?
Because I have to, Ashlyn.
What do you mean? It's Mom and Dad and the stupid competitions they make us do, isn't it? You're worried that you're gonna disappoint them.
I never said that.
I know that's what it was. Look, I forgive you for everything, but let's stop this right now before it completely destroys our relationship, please. For a moment, it looked like I was getting through to him. He seemed so vulnerable. I swear I thought I saw a tear in his eye. It's just what? But then his body tensed back up, like he was suddenly possessed by a demon.
It's just that you're a loser and I will always beat you. Now get out.
The play was coming up in a couple of weeks, so I made a point of staying away from Carter. I knew he would try to sabotage it for me. Then one day, as I was rehearsing my lines, Nico walked over.
Hey, Ashlyn.
What do you want?
I want to apologize for my behavior. Carter is my friend, but he has no right to control who I talk to. I went with him that day because I wanted to help him see that what he was doing was wrong. But I was a real jerk, and if you never want to talk to me again, I deserve it.
At that moment, I realized how much I truly loved Nico. So I let my anger go, and from that point on, Nico and I were inseparable. On the night of the play, I heard that there was going to be a huge talent agent in the audience. This was my big chance, but when I got up on stage, I completely forgot my lines. I had been so lost in my thoughts about Nico that I lost focus on the play. The theater was silent, but I could see Carter sitting all the way in the back next to Nico, and he was laughing. Then it hit me. This was his plan the whole time. He sent Nico to distract me. I was furious, but I wasn't about to let Carter win. So I gathered myself, took a deep breath, and suddenly, I remembered my lines. I poured all of my anger into the performance, and when the play ended, I got a standing ovation. I couldn't believe it. As I was leaving, the talent agent ran up to me.
You were fabulous up there. I think you could be a star.
Me? Really?
Yes, you, Ashlyn.
As she handed me her card, I looked for Carter, not because I wanted to rub it in his face, but because I wanted to share it with him. For just a moment, I thought maybe he would be happy for me, but he was gone. I felt like such an idiot for even thinking that. Then Nico came up to me.
You were amazing up there.
No thanks to you and Carter, you tricked me.
I didn't know about his plan until tonight, I swear. When he told me I should spend time with you, I thought he had changed, but it was just a plan to distract you. I'm done being his friend.
Why should I believe you, Nico?
Because I love you, Ashlyn.
And then he kissed me. I nearly melted right there in the middle of the theater. But then I caught a glimpse of Carter in the doorway. He looked sad. Over the next few months, I started going out on auditions, and right after graduation, I booked my first movie. Overnight, I became a huge action star. Nico was there for me every step of the way. Every time I booked a new role, Nico would come and visit me on set, but I barely ever saw Carter. He started staying out late at night and skipping school so he didn't graduate. After that, Carter moved to another city. Life was good, but I hated not having Carter around. I worked so hard to get where I am, Nico, and while I should be happy with my success, still, I can't stop thinking about Carter.
He's an adult, Ashlyn. He chose to act the way that he did. Instead of trying to make himself better, he tried to tear you down, and it didn't work.
I know, but I don't think it's all his fault. My parents turned us against each other from the day we were born. They taught us to be this way. A couple years later, Nico asked me to marry him. I wanted to invite Carter to the wedding, but no one had heard from him or knew where he was. I had an old number for him, and I often left him messages, but he never returned my calls. Then I got nominated for a prestigious acting award for one of my action movies. I was gonna be on TV in front of millions of people at the award show, so every designer wanted me to wear their fancy dresses and their really expensive jewelry. I chose a stunning yellow diamond necklace that was worth millions of dollars. I left a message for Carter telling him about the great news. I wasn't sure if he would ever receive it, but it felt good to hear his voice. The night of the award show, something crazy happened. Nico and I stopped at my parents' house so my mom could help me get ready before the show. As Nico and I were walking to our limo, a robber wearing a mask jumped out in front of us. He shoved Nico to the ground and snatched the yellow diamond necklace. I sprang into action and used the kung fu moves I'd learned from my movies. I punched the robber in the face, kicked him in the stomach, grabbed the necklace, and then pinned him to the ground. Ouch, that hurts. I recognized the robber's voice. I snatched off his mask. It was Carter. My parents heard the commotion and ran outside. Carter, what are you doing?
I'm so sorry, Ashlyn. I should have listened to you. But I was so obsessed with winning that I ended up losing everything. And now look at me. I haven't eaten in days, so when I heard your message about the award show and the necklace, I decided to steal it. It was a dumb idea.
It's okay, Carter.
No, it's not. I was a horrible brother and a worse friend. I hope that one day you can forgive me. This is all our fault. We were wrong to always push you two to compete against each other. We didn't realize the damage that we were doing.
We are so sorry. We've always been so incredibly proud of both of you. I forgave Carter and my parents. Carter and Nico held my hand as the host took the stage. Then, the host called my name.
Get up there, Ashlyn. You won.
I walked onto the stage to accept my award. When I looked out and saw Carter, Nico, and my parents smiling up at me, I couldn't help but cry. It was a dream come true.